make it interesting, I think. Primarily, I am an ex-LNT8, worked for LNT in many years. In the various fields like manufacturing, testing, integration, then supply chain, quality, maybe project management. Oh, I'll be talking about something on, obviously I joined SASMOS, a group called SASMOS. Now, Avirata Defense System is going to be another, you can say, a subsystem of SASMOS. We have opened a factory at Pune, primarily catering to defense companies and aerospace. Pardon me, will you able to show my presentation? Sorry, you're able to show my presentation? Firstly, presentation may not be so interesting for you. Maybe you'll have to hear me. Pardon me also if there is anything. Can you go to next? Yeah. I'll just touch upon how was the industry. All of you are my age, or pardon me if the youngsters also there. Most of the hairs are, you have to count now. So I'm talking about the 1980s onwards, how it has come now. I've seen the industry, how it is there. I have been there in the Mumbai for last 30 years. Of course, I am from Karnataka. I am speaking Kannada also. How the industry has shaped up between the 80s, 70s, you can see all the commercial products. Oh, India TV, we have seen our TV somewhere in the 1980s, maybe 84, 83. Prior to that, some audios. So industry who are into audio and, of course, color TV has come a little later, black and white. There are many companies who have come. Where are those companies? Orson, you heard of Orson now? ECTV, EC companies that, but a division. So, Kionix. There are many, I think Uptron, Giptron, Keltron, many companies. You can see, if you list, it is very difficult. Maybe 5 o'clock it will list. So these companies have come, maybe some Oneida company, yes, they have gone to next level called as industrial. So what I'm saying that from the commercial, they all moved to industrial. Industrial somewhere in the 80s to 90s end, you can see copier, fax machine or anything on machine, different machines has come. Now, what has happened to now, I'm talking about defense and aerospace. For example, L&T start working on defense somewhere in the 89, something called as Pinaka. You must have heard of multi-barrel rocket launcher. They worked in 1989. By the time we realized and got an order in 2006, imagine the time they spent. All the, specifically MSME company think that by looking at, hearing that, oh, it is not our cup of tea. Things have changed, sir. I have seen how the things are going earlier and change now. Now, speed is the one government is pushing so hard to, so that continuity will remain, right? So that's what I have displayed now. A lot of projects the government has pushed for the defense. I could see around maybe last years, maybe 10 or 12,000 MSME companies were registered, putting across all the companies. Who are all major companies? You know that Tata, L&T, maybe BDL, BL, all the DPSUs. In the private sector, maybe a Bharat Forge and other things. Very few. So if there is a few, there is a greater chance for every MSME to cater. And if you see, during the 80s, 90s, there are various component manufacturers. I personally used to visit every manufacturer, whether it is a Philips, they used to make the small components. If you go to semiconductor companies, they used to make semiconductor components. If it is a CDL, they used to make a transistor. I'm talking about electronics, also of course the area also. But can you see now, in India, there are no component manufacturer, hardly 1 or 2 components. That is also taken by somebody else in the outside, and I have to listen to him. My experience in L&T, I have to really have to advance planning to get all these components worldwide. India, I've been searching for some of the good suppliers or the business partner across in India. So our job is to make it success and a supply chain closely connected each other. When you connected each other, we can really make it happen. Because India has got everything. Why not? Intelligence we have got, every raw material we can get. Why not we cannot make? And if you are connected together, it is very, very possible. Right? Can you go to next? how is the government spending? Maybe some of them are already connected to defense and aerospace. The government is spending, you will see $70 billion. Okay, it is in India I'm talking about. $70 billion total, including army, everything. But however, $20 billion is capital equipment. Capital equipment means gun, or missile launchers, or a rocket launchers, or a engineering systems, or a land-based equipment system, or a naval-based equipment systems, or it is a radar, or a panel, anything of defense and aerospace. So much money government is spending, where it is going. Maybe few companies in the top they are taking, but however, if you really tap to the bigger companies and a DPSU, that is a public sector company of government, we can really do wonders in India. Why to give all those to outside? I don't see any difficulty for MSME. I'm coming to that next because I have seen the life of a MSME, how they are, I'm closely associated with MSME, so I know the difficulties. And I'm trying to do what is the best can be done, how to solve it. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. I have mentioned how we can connect to these industries and what is the way for us, including, I'm also part of MSME now, but how will you connect to how will you get this, whatever big chunk distributed against or amongst all the MSME suppliers? There are a few things I think India is now really required is a product development. For example, if I want inertial navigation system, I don't see anybody in India searching for it. There are a few. If I have a very simple, I'm saying about a drive which can meet JSS Penta 5 standard as per defense, people are struggling. There are companies in India who is ready to make, but moment comes to standard meeting, sir, it is not very difficult for us. But today government is saying that yes, to cater that, to meet that, there is a testing lab required. They are also funding for that. Okay. Other way is to say that you tie up with foreign company in a way that technology has to come here so that we can manufacture in India. Slowly, if you do today, tomorrow you will get. In the defense and aerospace industry, the change is if you connect in the beginning, that means when you put a seed, the seed has to go, put a water, when it will come, if you ask me first day, when is I'm going to get a plant, that fruit, it will take time. But if you are not put anything seed in that, you are not going to get. So important is get connected in the development stage. There is a lab called DRDL, or it is a LNT, or it is a anybody else, Tata. They are getting orders for a development of new kind of launcher or anything. You can connect the company in the beginning, do the product development in the beginning so that it will be used. One important thing which I am going to tell here is, if you use your product in the development mode, the production order also your product will be used. Okay, once it is qualified in the defense, they don't change the product. That's an advantage for the MSME, right? Another one I was saying that normally if you go to any company, they say a lot of changes happens in the development phase, a lot of change going to happen. That cycle time for each development is, maybe it takes 1 year or more than that. Now, this 1 year is so important. If you are not able to deliver something in a year, everything will be shifted. So what is that we can make it faster? I just give example every time whenever I speak. Best is a restaurant, South Indian restaurant. The menu card is multiple pages. Maybe it goes to 10, 15 pages. Obviously, I will not see the right side. I may become old. Maybe youngster will see on the left side. Joke apart, when you see the menu, so many there, and if you ask the waiter, he will come and say something special also, which is not listed in the menu. That means so many things are there. When you order, he said, I'll give in 10 minutes time. Anything you order, if we can give in 50 minutes time, he has to manage, he has to do, he has to project management, he has to cook, he has to have everything. Still he manages. It's a wise thing to imagine that how he is able to manage. That means he has got a minimum ingredients kept with him. Moment it comes, he is able to produce faster. So I am not giving exact idea of this. This is only idea. So that how we can change. For example, if you make for example, a sensor, which is called as level sensor used in the Pinaka could be different than other program. But if you have an ingredient ready, you can immediately change it. This is what I can tell. Can you go next slide, please? Yeah. What is that government doing for helping Indian industry to grow? The budget itself is they increase so much, but things still we import lot of things. I can say with my thing, maybe a 50-60% we import. The government is saying that don't increase the import content, increase the indigenous content. Every time the government is saying, even the RFP also they mentioned indigenous content has to be so much. So it is an onus on the bigger company, also DPSU, to make sure that they come to Indian companies. Oh, it is a onus or an opportunity for MSME to how to connect, what is that we can do. There are various segment MSME can concentrate, say that I will particularly go into details about something over, if it is electronics, I'll go to a harness, or if it is a connector, or I am to say that some extrusion, or it is a semiconductor, or I'll go to EMS, or I'll go to something called battery monitoring system. Maybe various area which we can go deep. Then obviously I don't think anybody wants to import. It is not a fun to import. You know how much the difficulty? You ask me, I know last 10 years, last 20 years, a lot of things I imported when I was in L&T. It was so difficult. You need a BA certificate, you need a NDU certificate, you need everything. After that, they will say this is not available. For giving an offer, they say you give me all the list. So however you are connected so many years, you are able to manage. But it is not a fun for importing. So why not we can get this and start manufacturing in India? So you need a support. Obviously, the support is like qualification, testing. The government is already set up many things. And also, the private sectors also setting up a testing plant which can be utilized. Right? Yeah. There are some portal called Sirjan portal. I think some of you are aware, where you can register and you can directly supply. And you can only say that which are the product you want to interested. You can register and supply that also. Can you go to next slide, please? Yeah, next slide. Yeah. So now I'm coming to challenges. You know, what is the challenges? Long cycle time. So long cycle time, you have to see that how we can reduce it. Number one is you have to anticipate some changes from the customer. If you are experienced, I know that I have taken care of this. And also there are few things can be done parallel. You don't have to do everything in-house. That's the reason I'm saying MSC, if you connected each other, something he's making, something he's making, something he's making. For example, SASMOS making all the interconnection harness, Aerospace, Boeing, or Lockheed Martin, everyone. How? We are not making everything, basically integrating. But of course, there are connector manufacturers, there are wire manufacturers, there are many things we can connect. Similar way, when I'm talking about ADS is Aerospace and Defense Subsystems, which is required electronic systems, where I'm going to head that, and this requirement of various requirements required, including components, PCBs, obviously enclosures, mechanical, aluminum, everything required. So these are the opportunity for Indian MSME to get into that, and obviously the all-in is going to come. All-in is one thing government is talking, so obviously the other people will talk. So it is going to come. I have seen that changes what's happening. Next challenge is, you are all now, it's a low volume, high mix. You all say that there are low volume is high and lot of varieties. So do not worry about varieties. You concentrate on what is your strength. For example, if you are anything on your good in something, concentrate on that and catch on that. Obviously, company will come and pick you. or like Sasmos, we are interested in getting that components from you. Second one is anything you want to get in. First is a company has to get qualified. That product has to get qualified. You have to wait for the qualification. So if you can add value, if you can also part of the project, then obviously you are also along with the project. If project comes, you will also win. If a customer win, we will also win. That is the concept. Okay. Can you go to the next one? Yeah. What is the future of MSME in the defense? I'm talking about the defense and aerospace sector. Whatever there, how industry are gone, I am saying that next 5 to 10 years, there will be tremendous demand, and government may say today 50%, tomorrow they will definitely say we want 70%. So we need to get into that and say that opportunity comes. Obviously, we get into all those things, R&D, development, everything to start now, so that another few years' time we will get. So I am seeing that a very bright future opportunity for all MSMEs in the defense aerospace. If you already got in, very good. If you're not getting, you can get in. So whatever happened earlier, I told you in the commercial, industrial, another 10, 15 years or maybe 50 years, this defense and aerospace is going to come in India in a big way. So whosoever there in the beginning, they'll get a benefit. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have anything, you can ask me. I'm there. My number is there. You can connect me. I'm primarily always want India to shine, and very big future is bright for all MSME. Thank you so much.